Welcome back. What I plan to do today is a session of Puzzle Rush Survival on Chess.com. If you're new to my channel, I'm not a titled player or chess coach. I'm just a random person trying to get better at chess, and one of the ways that I do that is work on puzzles. Because my puzzle run lately has gotten so high in rating, around 2400, I'm hitting some really difficult puzzles. They usually take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes for me to solve them, and I'm not getting any easy puzzles. And it's often the easy stuff that I'm missing in games, so that's one reason that I occasionally do Puzzle Rush Survival, because it starts off with usually easier ones. That's enough intro. If I do well in these, they usually take a long time, so let's just get started. Okay, I'm playing with the white pieces. I'm not in check, right? I just take the rook and that's checkmate. Okay, sorry, I hesitated for a little bit. And again, one of the reasons is that I don't often get very easy puzzles. I think here I have a checkmate because my bishop is guarding that square. I think I can just put the rook down here and that's mate. Okay, and same thing here, back rank checkmate, pretty sure, because I'm not in check. Okay, and here I have a checkmate on the H file because their king cannot get off that file. Okay, here looks like back rank checkmate again, and again it's a bishop guarding the king's getaway square. Nothing can block or capture here when I check with the queen. Now this time the bishop is guarding some getaway squares. I think I can check with the rook, and the king will have to go down to one of those two squares, and I think I will check again. The king can't come up here because of the bishop guarding that square, so it'll have to go back, and then the other rook should be checkmate. I think. Let's do that. Okay, it did go down. Well, I have to go here, and as I said, the king will have to come back to where it was. Oh, it didn't. Pretty sure it had to come back, and then I would check again with the other rook, which would be mate. Okay, now here, I do have a queen and a bishop lined up at the f7 square. Then the king would have to escape out to d7, at which point I could check with my queen, I guess, but then they could block with their queen. But then I could check with the bishop, and I'm not sure, would they have to take it? I think they might have to take it or move away from the queen. No, they wouldn't have to move away from the queen because they can go down there. Okay, so maybe that's not it. Okay, so we're already getting into some that are a little more difficult. The king has to come out. Okay, I could follow then with a check with my queen, and my bishop's cutting off all of that. Okay, so I think it's mate in two. Oh, it stopped, even though I'm pretty sure the king could come out. My rook and my queen are both pointed at f7, so I can check there safely. King then will move over, and then I'll check when the rook takes, my rook will take. I'm pretty sure that's going to be it. Down here and this way. Okay, I'm playing with the black pieces. Is their king trapped? My e-pawn's doing a lot of work here, protecting these two squares, d4 and f4. And then my knight is protecting f3 and e2. So I think I have checkmate if I put the rook on f3. Because then the rook would be cutting off the remaining two squares, the knight would be protecting the rook, and lots of pawns protecting that knight. I think this is a mate in one. Okay, black pieces. Okay, let's see. Oh, well, my knight's cutting off those two squares, so I think this is just checkmate with the rook on h8. And here, I have a couple of different checks. I like the g3 check, but that allows the king to go to the corner, and then I have a checkmate on g2, I think. Because I think the king is forced to h1, and then it's mate, right? Okay. Now here again, I have multiple checks. I can check with the rook, I can check with the queen. Sorry, that first arrow didn't go where I meant it to. I can check with the rook on e3 or the queen on e5. But if I check with the queen on e5, the king can get out two different ways. But if I check with the rook on e3, all those squares are still covered by the queen, so the king would have to move over. Although I could check safely again with the rook, but then they could go back. But if they went back, then I would have mate here with the queen on d2. Check e3, king moves over, check with the rook again, and then no matter which way the king goes, I'll have mate with the queen. I think. Oh, I hope. Let's see. Oh, it stopped. Oh my goodness. Okay, I probably spent too much time on that. Let's see, I do have checks in this position. I'm going to check here. The king can't come up, so I'd have to go there. And then that would be checkmate. Wait, I guess it could go over, though. If I checked here, the king could go over to f8. Either way, that's mate. Whichever one of those it goes to. Pretty sure. Okay, so this is just a simple mate in two. And again, it didn't go all the way. All right, now this one, because they still have a rook on the back rank, I think I have to check first on e2 to get their king to move back. Then I check on e1 when their rook takes, my rook will take. Yeah, simple back rank checkmate. Oh, white. I'm going that way, and they're coming close to my pawn. Well, I have to go close to the pawn too, don't I? I think it has to be f5. But just to be sure, if I went to f6, looks like my opponent could move forward. And then if I went over to g6, then my opponent could do that and I would take their pawn? Okay, well, how is that different from f5? Sorry, I'm confused, because here they can go there immediately, and then I still go to g5. They can't take my pawn. They have to move over and I take their pawn. How are the two different? Oh, no. Oh my, okay, well, I've been stymied here on puzzle number 15, but it seems like f6 and f5 are the same. Obviously, I can't go to f4, and I don't know that I would want to, because then they would get next to my pawn, and I can't get next to theirs. I have to get next to their pawn on g6, because their pawn's guarding this square on g5. That much is clear to me, but I can get to g6 via either one of these two routes, and I don't know what difference it makes. The only reason that I immediately said f5 is because then my king, cuts off squares, so they have to get behind my pawn. But they're going to end up behind my pawn anyway. Does it matter whether they get behind the pawn on the first move or the second move? Well, I'm probably missing something, but I'm going to play f5, king to f5, because I can't move my pawn. It has to be a king move. And any other move besides trying to get close to my pawn allows them to get close to my pawn and take it. Right? If I went to any of these other squares, they're just going to get close to my pawn, and then I can't get back in time to protect it. So those are the only two moves that make any sense. This one down here is off limits, right? So the difference between those two is, let's see, if I went to f6, they might be able to go here. So when I went over, they could come around. So when I took their pawn, they would get in the way. And then I can't come out because they have the opposition and I get stuck in front of my pawn. So my first instinct was right, wasn't it? We're about to find out. Oh, it was. Well then, wait, they came out. So if I go toward their pawn now, they come forward. Are they still going to be able to get in there? And I take the pawn, they come forward. No, I get out that way. Well, I think I just go take their pawn now. I didn't expect them to go out. Let's see, I take the pawn. They come closer. I get out. I don't think they can stop that. Right? Nothing else makes sense, because if I go forward, actually, it probably doesn't matter, but I think I have to go to g7 and then move my pawn. What? Well, I'll probably forget at the end of this, but I would like to see 855 again, just to see how different it would have been if I had gone back to f6, would it have been the thing where they trapped me in front of the pawn? I probably spent way too much time on that. Oh my goodness. For the first 10 or so, I was averaging about 30 seconds a puzzle, but now my average is already down to about a minute a puzzle. Okay, what do I have here? Let's see. I have a check here, which forces their king away, and then I have back rank checkmate. Wait, is it going to be that easy after this last hard one? My rook's not pinned, right? None of my pieces are pinned. I'm not in check. Okay, well, this seems really easy. After those last couple, all right. Is that not checkmate? This is a one-move checkmate. They can't block that with their queen. I'm not in check. I think it's a one-move checkmate. All right. So yeah, some of them, the easiness and the hardness, I guess, kind of goes back and forth, at least for me. Let's see. I noticed immediately that this g2 pawn is pinned, so I can just take this pawn, and I think that's checkmate, because no, they'll have to come out, sorry. And then I think I would check them with the queen on e3, and then they have to block with the rook, in which case I would take that, and that's checkmate. We're about to do it. Let's take that pawn on h3. Oh, it stopped. I didn't have to figure out all the rest. I'm hesitating because it seemed like a trap, but that's a one-move checkmate because I'm not in check, so... Yeah, definitely some are easier than others. Again, we have this back rank thing. No, because my rook's not behind my queen. But if I check there, they have to move over. Oh, and then I take the rook. Okay. And I can't take the rook. Oops. Well, I wouldn't have played the first move if I had realized that. Oh, I can just keep going over. Okay. It took me a second, but we got it. And do we again have the back rank thing? King has to move over, and I take the rook. I wouldn't go straight forward this time because of where their knight is, but I think that's checkmate. And this way, they have to block with the knight, but I was about to say I had two different moves here. What do I do? But the rook can't move. It has to be the queen. The rook was pinned. Okay. Well, in a game, I would immediately take this pawn. Threatening check. No, not threatening checkmate. Their rook is guarding. So that's probably not it. What is it? What do they play if I play that? Let's go back to the checklist. Do I have any checks? I do have a check with the bishop, but I think that's my only check. And I assume they would take back. So that's probably not it. And the only captures I have in this position are these two pawns. And the f3 pawn looks a lot better, but it's not threatening mate. That's my problem with this. Because what am I doing down there? And how do they respond? Because again, I'm not threatening mate. Wouldn't they just, I don't know, develop a knight or something? Now then I suppose I could check with my bishop, and if they took with the rook, then I would take with check, and oh, that would be mate. But they might not respond with the knight. They might do something different because they don't have to worry about the mate threat because of where the rook is. What would they play? I mean, they wouldn't bring the queen over, obviously, because my bishop would take it. Or actually, I would take with the queen, and that would be mate. Okay, so they're not going to bring the queen over. They might put the queen here to help defend the rook, but I'm still going to check this way. No, I'm not, because then they would take, and oh no, if they took, then I would have mate for sure. Okay, so maybe it is taking on f3. I don't know. We might fail an early puzzle. Oh, wait, sorry. That's checkmate unless they take it, and then that's checkmate, because the rook won't be guarding that square anymore. Okay. They did take it. Okay, I probably spent too much time on that. Where are my pieces? Oh, I'm playing with the white pieces. What? My pieces are way down there. All right. And their pieces are behind my king. Very interesting. Well, I do have a check and a check, and I have 3 different checks. I'm pretty sure if I checked with this rook, they would take the other one. And I'm pretty sure if I checked here, they would take that one. So I'm probably wanting to check on f8, but then they just come up. And then I could check again on f7 with the second rook. And my pawn's guarding that square, so they would have to go out to the d file. Then I guess I could check again, but they wouldn't go over. Oh, but they would have to go over, and then I would win that rook. Maybe that's it, but they're about to promote here. Is winning the rook enough? Let's try it. Okay, and then it's probably this. So I hope it is, because if I check over here on e6, they're going to get my first rook. So, oh, it was that. Well, then it's probably this and this to win the rook. That's what I said, right? Oh, it stopped. Okay, I don't know what I was going to do about their h-pawn that's about to promote. Okay, their king moved out because this bishop was pinning that pawn. But now what do I do? Oh, their queen is hanging. No, it's not, because it's defended. But my queen is also defended. So what do we do? Oh, I can check them this way, and then when they move over, check them with the bishop? No, because then they could move over again. Wait, check them on f6. They have to move over, only move. Then when I check on f7, they have to go back. And then when I check again on f6, it's mate, because the bishop then would be guarding that square. So that looks good. I'm going to try that. Oh, again, it just stopped after the first move. Where are my pieces? I'm playing with the black pieces. Okay, well, that's checkmate, isn't it? No, it's not, because both their rook and their bishop are pointed at that square. But this is checkmate. Really, I'm down that much material, and they just left their king hanging. I'm pretty sure, yeah, okay. White pieces, where's their king? Their king is over here. Looks like it's in a little trouble. What can I do about it? Not a lot. Doesn't look like there's much I can do about it. I mean, I do like that the pawn is guarding that square, but what do I do? My knight is also guarding a square around their king. Okay, well, do I have any checks? No, I don't currently have any checks. Do I have any captures? I don't think so, other than this pawn, their front e-pawn, and I'm pretty sure I don't want to capture that. I don't even have a candidate move here, but let's I guess default to my new checklist. Material count. They have 2 bishops. I have a bishop and a knight. We each have 2 rooks and a queen. They have 7 pawns, and I have 6 pawns. So my opponent is ahead 1 pawn, but my king is a bit safer than theirs, although not much, because I have to keep guarding that. How much danger am I in? I don't think I'm in a ton of danger. My pieces all seem to be defended, even if some are defended, like the bishop is defended very tenuously, but it is defended. Same with that pawn. Oh, my a pawn is not defended. Okay, but everything else is defended. What about my opponent? My opponent has an undefended rook. No, that one's defended down there. They have an undefended rook and an undefended bishop. Can I get to either one of those? I don't think it's g1, because they would just trade off, and then my opponent would still be up a pawn. Their queen is defended, but I can threaten it. What would they play if I threatened their queen? Would they threaten mine? I don't think they would threaten mine. If I played rook to f1, I don't think they would threaten my queen, because I would just take theirs. No, wait, no, I wouldn't, because they would take mine, but then I could check and get their bishop. This one seems really difficult after a few of those easy back rank checkmates. That's probably not it, but But I don't know what else to do. I'm going to play that. Oh, their queen just ran away. Well, then this seems really obvious here. Just check and win the queen for the rook and the knight, because I assume they would take, and then I would take, and then they would take my knight. But then I could check again and win the rook. Okay, it's probably that. Oh, they did that. Oh, it didn't go to the part where I would win the rook. All right, wow, yeah, that one was difficult. I am playing with the white pieces here. Okay, I could defend the rook, probably what I would play in a game, but guessing that's not the right answer. Because it's not ever in the puzzles the right answer to just defend a rook that a king is attacking. I could defend the rook this way, but then what do I have? All right, I'll find out later what the right answer was, because I have no idea and I didn't want to spend any more time. As it is, I need to start a new video file because my editing software will crash if I go any longer, so hold on. All right, on my second video file, I am playing with the black pieces. Okay, my opponent has a ton more pieces than I do. All I have is a queen and these pawns. Suppose I could check them right there. They can't obviously block that. They can't capture my queen there. They would have to, my queen would be guarding all of those and my pawn would be guarding that one. My queen would be hitting here. So they would have two choices and either one of those would be in check when I promoted to my queen. So I think I have to play queen to c1 check. And they moved it out, and I'm going to check them with this queen. That one I missed better turn out to be really easy and embarrassing that I missed it because you saw how easy that the next one was. Oh my goodness. All right, again, black pieces. I do have a check. That's not good. I think they would just take that. What if I put the bishop on f3 and then I would be threatening checkmate, so they would have to do something. What would my opponent play if I put the bishop on f3? Because my bishop then would be guarding these, my rook's guarding these. The only thing they could do is go over there, but that's still mate because my bishop's guarding here too, and my rook down there on d1 would be mate. So what does my opponent play if I put the bishop on f3? I mean, they're not going to take the pawn or threaten my rook, right? Which is what they would do if I wasn't threatening mate. But I am threatening mate after I put the bishop up there, so they're going to have to think of something else, like giving away the queen? Oh, I hope that's what they think of. Oh, they checked me. Okay, I'm going to go over here. And they gave away the queen. That's what I thought. I'm going to take it, pretty sure. Oh, there's still more. Okay, well, my only chance of stopping this pawn is to put the bishop on c6 right now. If I do anything else, like threaten that pawn or threaten this h-pawn, they move forward and then I'm too late. So I have to go bishop to c6. Oh, okay. My turn. Oh, what? My queen is trapped. Oh, I guess I could block with the rook. I can't block with the rook because my rook is pinned. My queen is trapped. What? Wait, the bishop's free though. Sorry, the bishop's undefended. I think I should just take it. Oh, and then they did this. Ooh, they're threatening mate. Well, I don't want to take it because they're going to take back and they're still threatening checkmate. But I could get my queen out of the way by checking. Oh, but I still wouldn't be able to move the rook. It's still pinned. Okay, this one's a little challenging. And my rook's cutting off this file even though it's pinned, and my queen would be cutting off this file. My knight is hitting d7, so the king would only have two choices. I assume they're not going to block with the knight because I would just take it. So the king can go to d6 or d8. If it went to d6, I think I would have mate on e6, protected by the knight. No, then they would just take the knight. Okay, so if they came to e6, what would I do? I guess if they went to e6, I could check down there. Then they go back and, wow, I don't know what else to do. I can't check with the knight. Oh, no, that's really bad because their queen. Wait, maybe that's good because my knight's defending that square. It's a check. Their queen is hanging. So they're going to have to take mine and I'm going to take it back and be protecting the rook. And I'm up a minor piece, right? Okay, well, then it has to be that. I just wasn't seeing their queen until just now. Yeah, it has to be this. Okay, wow. All right, my opponent has gotten out of check to f6, which is an unusual move. I can check them here and win their queen when they get out of check, but I don't think it's mate or anything, is it? They just move out of check. I mean, if they came forward, I would have this, but then they would just move out of check, and then I would win their queen. Yeah, I don't think I have a checkmate, but it's got to be bishop to g5, pretty sure. And it's got to be that, right? Oh, my queen's hanging too. Oh no, I didn't even notice that my queen was hanging. Okay, again, I might have played differently if I had noticed that. But yeah, if I take their queen, they're going to take my queen. Oh, but then I'll get their bishop too. Oh, I think I'm going to take their queen, and when they take mine, I'm just going to get their bishop. And if they try to move their bishop to attack mine, I'm going to run away with mine. And I would be a piece ahead right out of the opening. Because I can't check them, right? I can't safely check my opponent at this point. All those are my checks. I'm pretty sure And all of the, well, I mean, there's a check too, but I'm pretty sure all of those squares are covered by their knight, by their pawn, by their pawn, by their queen, by their bishop, by the pawn. I mean, right? Well, the knight's covering that one too. They wouldn't even have to move their queen. But yeah, all of those squares are covered. So it's not checking again. It's got to be taking the queen. And the bishop, like I said. Okay. Well, we're getting up into the 1700s. So that's what I wanted, though, is some puzzles that I could solve, in a hopefully brief amount of time that weren't those really crazy ones that I've been getting up in the 2500s. Black pieces. Think I have to take the rook and then promote? Or should I promote first? No, that doesn't make any sense. If I promote, they're going to take that. And then probably this. Think I have to take the rook? Gonna take it. Oh, the question is, do I take with the pawn or the rook? One of them's bad, otherwise it wouldn't be a puzzle. See, if I take with the pawn, I assume they're just going to get in front of it. If I take with the rook, what are they going to do? I think I have to take with the rook, not the pawn. And then if they come over, obviously I push the pawn forward and I'm prepared to do one of these things. But if I take with the pawn, just get in front of it. I can't do anything with the pawn. Okay. Oh, I had to have taken with the pawn? Or maybe there was something else that I missed. Okay. We'll come back to it. I wasn't expecting to break my record today. I just needed to work some of these lower puzzles. Oh, I like this one. I like checking right here on F7 because both my back rook and my queen would be pointed there. But if I just take that rook, they're going to take back, and then our remaining rooks are just pointed at each other, and my king is one over, so I'd have to go ahead and take theirs, and they would take back, and they still have an extra piece. What if I check on F7? If they take, I go with my queen. No, if they take, I go with my second rook. And they have to go to the corner and I take this pawn. And then they have to move over and this is mate. I'm going to go rook to F7. I'm going to take with the rook, not the queen. And, oh, they didn't do what I expected. Oh, well, now I check here. And then when they go to the corner, I had a mate with my rook or my queen. So that's why it didn't continue. Well, I'm glad I saw the F7 instead of going all the way down. Black pieces, okay. Well, I have a check, but their bishop's guarding that square. They could take, then I would take back. I have a check with the rook, but they can block that with the knight or the bishop. I have a check with the knight, but both of their minor pieces are guarding h4. So, oh, I have a check with this bishop hidden over here on h6. I bet that's it, isn't it? They want me to check with the bishop down here on c8 because my knight's guarding that. My king is hitting these spots here. Their own pieces are in the way there, and the bishop would be guarding all of that. So if I check with the bishop on c8, the king is forced to g5. And then I have this check over here with the other bishop on e3, which protects the rook. And that's mate. I think that's it. Oh, I didn't expect that. Do you know how many puzzles I've calculated out 4 or 5 moves, and then the first move, they just block them with the pawn, and I'm like, oh, pawns can move too. I should have known that from the beginning. I'm going to take it and then go over here. I think that's mate. Well, I probably never would have seen that in a game. Ooh, discovered attack. I mean, it's a free knight. Should I just take the free knight? Or do I have something better? I might have something better, but I don't know what it is. In a game, I would probably take the free knight. Wait, are they ahead? Let's see, I have 2 minor pieces. They have 3 minor pieces, so we would be even after I took the knight. The other knight is free too, and that's a check. Wait, is that mate? Hold on. If I check here, can they block with it? Oh, they can block with the rook, but I would just take it. Oh, I think it's taking the knight on d4. Oh, they did block with the rook. Is that mate? Very nice. Okay, they have pinned this knight to the bishop. I've had actual opponents do that, and I'm like, well, go ahead, take it, because it's just a knight. Oh, I can check though. Oh, I think I can check and win the bishop, can't I? No. If I check, they would block with this knight, which protects the bishop. Okay, so it's probably not that then. I'm still tempted because so many puzzles involve this queen diagonal check. But what do I play at? Oh, after they take that, I just take this pawn, right? And if they move that over, then I take the knight. Maybe that's it. Let's do it. Oh, it was that. Is it taking the pawn? Oh, they castled. Well, I'm going to take the free knight then. Why? Oh, I guess if they had moved to protect the knight, I could have gotten the rook. Okay, well, it's got to be taking the knight. Positive. It was. Wow. Okay. Playing with the white pieces. So I have something here. I do have some checks. Lots of checks over here. Oh, I even have a check with the knight. Oh, maybe that's it. If I check with the knight, that pawn is pinned by my queen, and my queen's cutting off those squares, so they would be forced down or out. Knight to f5 check. Oh, they could just take that with their queen. Well, then it's probably not that. I should have looked to see where their pieces were first. Oh, I have a whole nother knight. I have 2 knights for one of their rooks. Well, what if I check here and they just take it with their queen? Well, that would be unfortunate, so it's probably not that. All right. I'm going to guess that this check is not good either because of the pawn. And same thing with, oh wait, this check's not bad because the rook is protecting it. They wouldn't want to go down to f8, I'm pretty sure, because then I could check with this. No, again, their queen could take. Yeah, because my queen would be up here. Okay, if I checked there and they went down and I checked with the knight on g6, their queen could just take that. And if I took their queen, they would take there and I would take there and I would have 1 knight left to their 2 rooks. Oh my, I don't know. I'm just going to check them with a knight. And yeah, I figured that was wrong. Okay. Oh, it says it's my 11th highest of all time. Well, then I shouldn't feel too bad because I've done this like 40 or 50 times at least, if not more. Obviously, it's the number 1 for today. I haven't done it in a couple of months, I think. All right, well, I'm going to look at 855. I said that out loud, so I remembered it. And then the 3 that I missed. Okay, this is the one that I immediately thought, well, I just go to F5, but then I had a doubt because I thought the same outcome would happen this way. Oh, I have to click play first. Okay, so F5 turned out to be right, and I go get their pawn and get out here and move my pawn. And all those moves except the first one were incredibly obvious to me. But I'm going to go here and see what thing that they had. Okay, that was the first move. So going to F6 is a draw, and it's because they can go to F4, and when I go to G6, they can go to E5, and when I take the pawn, they go here. That's what I thought. Okay, because now if I move forward, they just move forward. And if I move forward, they just move forward. Or they could move back if they wanted to. Really? Wait. Oh yeah, because they're closer to my pawn. But anyway, like I've seen this before. If I can't get my king out from in front of this pawn, I can't promote. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I was right on that. That's what made the difference way back here between these 2 moves. Now let's look at the 3 that I missed, which were 1477. That's the puzzle's rating, not the puzzle's number. On this one, I think I moved this over, and that wasn't it. So my other thing I would have played in a game was pushing this pawn. But oh, they have to move first. Okay, but they were already there. Yeah, that was also wrong. What was it? Where's the analysis board? So they came toward my rook, gave me a huge advantage only if I played rook to c8, which is here. Oh, well, that seems really obvious now because the pawn is protected and the pawn is protecting the rook. And their best move is rook g to g8, really. That's their best move. I'm not going to promote now. Wait, why wouldn't I promote? My best move is rook to e8. Oh, so I could promote behind my rook. Because if I promote here to a queen, they take the queen. That's still got to be winning though, right? Okay, yeah, it's +5. It just would be better if I went over here. Now when I get the queen, the best they can do is take the rook. And their best move right now is rook to d6. So they can still take my queen, but now I get this rook for free. All right, well, let's restart this one. So it was just going down here, and the opponent wouldn't have done what Stockfish would have done. Okay, now what do I do then? Do I put this rook down here? Oh, and take that rook? I don't think that was recommended by the engine here. After that, rook to c8. They dropped this rook. Oh, that is what Stockfish said. I read it wrong. I thought they should have moved this one over. They should have moved this one down. Oh, okay. I misread it earlier. It was rook g to g8. No, their best move is to take the pawn, which is what they did in the puzzle. And then obviously after that, I would take this. And so I'm just up a rook. Okay, I want to restart that. So all I was seeing was that this rook was in danger. I saw that my checks were bad and this check. I saw that I could protect the rook. I don't think I said it, but I also thought, well, I could just move the rook to protect it. But I guess I just didn't think, oh, it's protected there. I didn't explore all my legal options, and that's what I should have done. In addition to protecting the rook with one of these 2 moves, I should have thought of all the places I could put the rook where it would be safe. Not here, here, and here because of their pawn and their king, but I definitely should have considered, all of these. Not here, not here. I don't know what that would have done, but I think if I had explored all my legal moves, I would have seen the right one. My bad. 1711 was this one, which the opponent took this rook, and I was right to take it, but I was wrong to take that. And I think my reasoning was that if I took with the pawn, they would get in front of the pawn, and then what could I do? And then if I took with the rook, then they couldn't do anything because I would push the pawn. But so it had to be taking with the pawn? Oh wait, or did it have to be pushing the pawn first? No, surely not. Because then they would just move the knight someplace, probably over here. So it was taking with the pawn? That's what I thought would happen. Now what do I do? Do I go down here and threaten these pawns? I don't know. Nope, not that. Something else. Oh, it was this, wasn't it? And then this. And then this. Restart. Okay, so this was obvious. This was not obvious. I'm positive I might take it with the pawn in a game because my pawn was defending the other pawn already even before my rook moved over, but now I would be stuck. And in a game, I'm positive I would play this trying to knock off, some of these pawns here. But what I had to do was bring the rook back, threatening to go down to d1. And they're going to bring their king for some reason instead of just taking the pawn. Oh, because if they just took the pawn, it would have been mate. Okay, so they brought the king to avoid mate. So I check. And instead of taking, which would have led to me getting a queen, which would have been mate, they did this. So that was probably their best move. Now I just get the rook. Okay, now I assume they're going to come toward me and I'm going to have to run away. Well, not there. They're going to come get my pawn. Just out of curiosity. My rook feels a little trapped down in there. What would I do now? So yeah, they would come toward me. So I would have to... Oh, that's tricky. It says to go to E1. Well, now it says F1, but it said E1. Because if they took it, I would promote. But if they took my pawn, then I would get this pawn. Okay, but now F1's my best move. Well, they're going to take this, so I don't get a queen, probably. But then I'm going to take this with check, and I'm just going to start mowing down pawns. The other one that I missed was 1991, which was this one in which my opponent played there, and I had no idea what to do. I still do not. So I'm going to click the hint button. Wait, but they're just going to go back. Oh, they didn't, though. Why not? And now what do I do? Hint. Now I check over here. Even they're just going to take it. Oh, but now that pawn's pinned. Okay, so my question is, why didn't the king go down there? Analysis. Okay, so white, this is a rare puzzle where I was already ahead before their first move that was a blunder. They should have taken the knight, even though I would have taken back. They should have gave up a rook for a knight, but either way, I was ahead. But this put me up much further, but only if I snuck in here to check on f6. And my question is, why didn't they go to f8? It's their best move. Nope. Oh, it changed. Oh, Stockfish found a mating sequence if they go to f8. But what would I have played then? Knight to h3 or knight to f3? Well, that's why the puzzle didn't continue, because there's not that big of a gap between them. But that's why I didn't choose this, because they could have gone there and I would have had to found one of these. Well, let's say I found knight to h3. Why aren't they going to take this knight? It says their best move is to take this pawn with check. But why don't they take the knight? I have to know. They take the knight. Oh, now I check down here and wait, if they take the knight, it's mate in 1. I just saw that they had too many. I don't think I even saw that option, but yeah, they had too many options here and none of them looked great. Now it does say that h6 is their best option, but now when I check over here and take, that pawn is pinned. Okay. And it was their best move to take the knight, even though the queen is free. Well, that was over an hour on my end. Hopefully you got something out of that. Let me know how you're doing in your journey or quest to improve at chess. And let me know what you're doing. And if it's not like top secret or something, give me all your tips. Thank you for spending your time here. I'll see you next time.